touches on the ALT. It runs. I got to get all the wiring buttoned up on it. Plastics are turned out. We got them all sanded. We're just getting ready to buff them. I do have to sand this one yet. And the front fender is looking pretty good. You got a bolt if you want to zoom in right here. And I just drilled it and I got my extractor set. I'm going to see if I can get that bolt out of there. I don't know if I will or not. It may not come. I don't know if it will. Yeah. It's not wanting to come out. I may have to get a bigger drill bit on it. So sure when I drill this out how this is actually going to turn out. I'm getting pretty close to the whole side. We may have to Give me the smaller one. I might try to see if I can't get it to go in. Okay, I wallered that out a little bit with the titanium bit here. And see if we can't get her to take. Oh, it's tight. Give me a couple more minutes. I think I'll have her.
Found 3 of them.
Okay, so we've got the front fender mounted now. I'm going to show you what we had to do here. I had to cut that off of there, and so now that fits good, and there's a little scratch here, we're going to take that off after we get this fender where we want it. Touch that all up, and then that'll be fine. We scratched it getting it on there, but we'll get this fender out and we're going to clean the light up and everything again. We're just getting the fitment for now, and we'll clean everything up. Probably going to clean these risers up a little bit, and then I've got to of course work on the wiring harness this afternoon and try to get all that where it needs to be. But so far she's looking pretty pristine. Really just want to get everything fitted where it needs to be, because the cosmetic part we'll worry about later. But because we've got everything sanded, got this side over here buffed, it's looking really nice. Got the fender fitment on. I had to cut a significant section off of this fender, and I don't know if it was just over the years on this back fender, but we got it cut to where it's going to look good. I didn't want to order a new one. Here was the section we had to cut off. When that fender was up in here, this was just laying up on that exhaust. You can actually see where it would be turned and laid up on that. And so that is just over time just melted this, and there's just no point of getting another fender. I don't know if that's a bad design or it was just over the years that fender has made its way up. But we use the old fender. I'm not going to buy a new fender and have exactly the same problem, because this has no heat. There's no heat shield up here. And so that the heat issue off of this pipe is a serious issue when it comes to all this wiring and everything. So we're really just trying to get, I don't even want it running up here. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it all from not being even close to that exhaust. I don't know what we're going to have to do to get it there, but it's a serious issue on this trike. One that we're going to address. I'm sure in 1983 it wasn't an issue whenever these were made, but now, you know, over the years, and things get misplaced and moved, and I don't even know what's been done with this quad or this trike. And so we're just trying to get all that wiring and stuff in that fender to where there's not going to be any heat, because there's not a lot of room there between that pipe and that tire at all, which is probably why that fender ended up getting melted. But fender fitment. Yeah, I think from the look of that, that's going to be a good fitment there. I am not sure how they had that long fender on their Carter. But it's definitely, we're going to have to check the radius when we turn it and see how close it gets. But I think it's going to be a lot better. Of course, we'll wet sand that back fender too and get it looking better. But I think that's going to be pretty good for now. All right, I will be starting to tackle this wiring issue. One of the worst parts of this wiring issue that we're facing, and I've got this carburetor cleaned out and a new primer button. Everything's great on this carburetor. In fact, it usually starts the first pull with, you pump that about 10 times. Idle's great. Probably going to work through some PB Blaster through this today too. It's a little sticky. It's a little sticky, but could be in the it could be in this cable as well. So not 100% what's causing that. So I'm gonna pop this off real quick and throw some PB Blaster down in that. But so the strangest thing, and you may have an idea of why, and the coil on this used to be great. It used to, when it was hot, it would start right up. And now it's having an issue of, cold starts wonderful. Of course, all this wiring is not great. We kind of pieced it together just to get it to run. And a great place to start there, if you're having trouble with your wiring, is go to Three Wheeler World. Three Wheeler World has schematics for stuff back clear into the 1970s if you got a three-wheeler, an ATC. And so go there, but I'm actually getting ready to take a look at this wiring, and I'll post on this video the wiring diagram on this, because you're going to see colors, okay, that only certain colors will go together. And I don't know what this has been cut. This is cut from a white, it looks like, so I don't know where that white came from. But I'm going to go through and cut this thing off of there and go through all these wires and find out their true color, find out what they hook up to. I mean, I got some of them that just don't look very promising. This one here is definitely melted. So I think when I get this wiring done, which is the feet that I'm going to attack today, I'm hoping that we get our spark back. I think that we may have a ground. I'm going to clean these grounds up underneath that box there, underneath this coil. It's just weak spark when you get it warmed up, after it's been running. And then the only way you can get started is with starting fluid at that point. You just cannot get it to pull start. It pull starts great when it's cold. And it seems like it has, I've not ran a compression test on it, but it appears to have a great amount of compression. It pulls well. I'll test that if it becomes an issue. Like I said, it didn't do that when we first got it, and I first got all this put together. I mean, look at that. That's sad. I'm kind of embarrassed about that, how that looks. And so that was actually just a temporary deal, and that's been touching exhaust, and it's just a mess. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to go ahead and getting this wiring. I've been dreading the wiring, and I'm going to go ahead and work on it and get it all buttoned up, and I'm going to get it ran through the frame where it belongs. I'm going to get it behind these connectors the best I can. I'm actually going to zip tie those down. Those old connectors are in bad. They're just in poor condition. I'm going to get it as far away from heat as possible. And I might even put some conduit around it just to give it that extra layer of heat protection. And then we'll see where, when you're riding these, it shouldn't be a big matter. It shouldn't be a big deal, because if you're riding, you're going to be cooling with your air. It's an air-cooled motor, but it's also going to be blowing air into that. Only bad thing is it was getting so much heat, and I think taking this fender off here is also going to create some airflow back here that we weren't getting, so we won't have so much wiring problems. So I'll be posting different pictures of the wiring when I'm done with it, hopefully, and have the headlight working. I will definitely continue on in the video, so stay tuned. These are the schematics to the ALT 125 wiring system. Please pause the video. We have success. The headlight working good on it. Shuts off. We need to shut off. It turns back on. We need to turn on. Does not have a high and low beam, so we don't need to worry about that at all. Off. On. Perfect. Will it idle butter or is it not going to idle? Oh yes, it's idle great. Might need a little bit of minor tuning, but yes. Headlights working. Got everything working on it. She is doing what she needs to do. Let's see if we can shut her down. The kill switch is a little wonky on that, but you got to get it to the right position. It is running. It's running good. I still am having a little trouble getting it to start when it's warm, and I don't know. Here, Carter, hold it. We'll see if it does. If not, we're going to pull the plug. Started that time. Sometimes it won't start after it's off. Maybe we got it fixed. So we'll stop and take a look at that. It's running great. That's off. Yeah, she's running a little lean because I got the air box off. Just a quick test. I'm going to try starting it again. But see, that's the problem. Sometimes, and I don't know what's causing it to, it just doesn't want to go. I think it's in the spark. If I was actually to pull that spark plug, which I might do, I'd like to check the spark on this when it's hot. Then that's an indication when I pull that off, if I'm not getting much spark or if it's a weak spark, I've got an issue elsewhere in either the coil or something else. And so we're going to try to take that out here real quick and just see where I'm at. So pause that real quick. So the first wire I'm running up, and you can see this. It's down here. It's got a place that's going to tie onto kind of the block there, crankcase. This wire, I got it, and then here was the other end, and it looks terrible. And so I'm going to cut off a significant portion of that. It's been hot. We're getting ready to pull up this, that's stripped back. We might be losing some spark in there. Not really sure. I'm not really sure I'm just not sure where we're losing it. I'm going to cut that section off, and I'll be stripping it. And that section just looks awful. So let's get that cut there. And that way we can start fresh. There, get all that off. Oh yeah, that looks much better. So I'll trim that down, and then we'll get that wire, because it had a butt connector on it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use on that yet. I think I'm just going to twist it together and heat shrink it, because to me, putting a connector in between there, you're just losing spark. And there's several of those like that. There's this one. I don't know what that is, where that goes, but that one don't even have one on it. So I'll keep at it.